this video went really down south real quick. Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, I am Maddie Reeds, and in today's video, it's the first video of 2026. Woohoo! Let's go, let's go. And in today's video, we are going to be doing my January TBR, which is, that means to be read. So I'm basically going to be picking a bunch of books that I want to read for the month of January. I know this is somewhat late, but I just need to know what I'm gonna read, basically. And I'm gonna use my handy dandy friend colored pencils to pick the color of the books. So this will narrow it down and make it a lot harder, honestly. But I think it can be potentially fun, so we will just have to see. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. Welcome back everyone who was here last year. Welcome new people. I'm so excited for 2026. I'm so ready. I finished my first book of 2026 yesterday. My goal this year is 60 books. I want to focus more on books that I'm gonna give 5 stars and 4 stars versus reading so many books that are like 3 stars and 2 stars. So that's mainly what I want to focus on. And if I don't reach my reading goal, that's okay, but I want to take the time to be able to read and stuff. So that's just how I see it. But my goal last year was 70 and I read 77. So yeah, that is how I ended the year last year. So so I did 6 prompts last year, and I'm gonna stick with 6 prompts, just to give myself a minimum. I may read less, I may read more, but in this video I will be doing my TBR, and I will also be doing my my December reading wrap up. So you're getting 2 videos in one. Good for you. So without further ado, let's get into the first prompt. Okay, so we got kind of this, like, it's not super light, but it's not super dark either. The color Crayola calls this light blue. So we got a light blue book cover. I'm trying to think. Pull up my handy dandy Goodreads. There's not many books that I want to, like, there's not many anticipated releases that I have for the new year. But I'm just trying to look and see if maybe there's something on here that I could go with. Not really. So I'm trying to think what could be a good light blue. Typically I feel like that's like an easier one to pick, but I'm not very sure because I feel like I've read all the light blue books that I have. So I don't know. I just can't think of one that's like light blue. See, I would put the selection on here, but that's not gonna work. So this is another thing that you should know about me, is that I suck at TBR videos. Okay, here we go. Here's a picture of books that I could potentially read. So I'm gonna put Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover on here because I don't know, that's just one that I feel like matches this, and I will put it up on the screen. It doesn't really match, but that's just what we're gonna have to go with. So anyways, this is almost 5 minutes long. On to the next prompt. I hate doing TBR videos, but red. We got red. So okay, I know the book for this. Phantasma. I have been wanting to start that series, so Phantasma is what's gonna go on the TBR. Prompt number 3. So, why? Just, like, because why? Because why? See, I would put Star Side by Alex Astor, but I don't think that book comes out until, like, September. Oh, okay, March 26th. I mean, the 31st of March, so it'll have to be for March. But, oh, I know what we can put. It's, like, semi-light. Meet Me in the Middle by Alex Light. So, there we go. So, as you can tell, I suck at these videos. Okay, 4th prompt. Green. That's a nice, like, green color. I like that one. I don't think I have any green books on my TBR. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Every Spiral of Fate, which is the... Wait, no, I can't do that book. I can't do that book because that's the 4th book, and I haven't read the 3rd book yet, so that's not gonna work. I would put The Assassin's Blade, but I've already read The Assassin's Blade, sadly. I've read all the Greek books that I have. This sucks. I hate this. You know what? I can't do this anymore. I don't know. Green. It's such a hard color. Okay, I'm just gonna throw a wild card in here, but we're gonna put Twisted Lies by Anna Huang on this, which is the 4th book in the Twisted series. And it's an interconnected standalone series, so that's what we get. I'm not doing colored pencils again. We can just put that out there. On to our 5th prompt. Give me a good color. Yellow. I know you can't. I know it's a black, but you can see the yellow point. I can find some yellow. Something yellow. I think. Possibly. I would put Haley Pham's book on here since it's like a multiple of those colors, but again, doesn't come out until March. Why are all these books coming out in March? Last year I had a terrible March reading, so hopefully this year it'll be a lot better. Just putting it out there. Yellow. I don't have any yellow books. I'm actually gonna... Like, why? Why does it do this to me? I just don't have enough books on my TBR. I think that's another problem, too, is that I don't have enough books that I'm like, I want to read. I just find books and I'm like, I'm gonna read you. That sounded so bad. Like, that sounded so weird. Okay, well, we're gonna have to go to Google again. Oh wait, I want to see, I need to search up, the Rose Bargain. The 2nd book comes out. What color? I want to see if the 2nd book covers on it. See, the Rose Bargain itself is pink. But, can I find the 2nd one? Okay, all right. I'm gonna cheat a little bit because This book is like purple, but there's a big yellow ring on it. So it counts. That's what we're going with. And finally, we made it to the end of this, the last prompt of this video, because I have this like whole set of ideas that I want to do. Like I want to change it up, because typically like last year, most of the TBR videos that I did were just like TBR prompts, which like I still will do like in a TBR jar, but I wanted to change it up. Obviously this is not the route to go. Ask prompt. Give us an easy one. Okay, so that's white. Again, we're not doing white. So this one's gonna go off to the side. I just took a bunch of my colored pencils and just threw them all in there, so I really don't know what came out. Which next time I need to double check. Okay. See, this one's purple, and I could have just done that book. But lucky for me, I know what I'm gonna pick. Or at least this is just an impulse decision, but impulse decisions are the best decisions. So, quote it. That's my quote. I'll say I can't pick any of the books up here, which is good anyways. I wasn't going to. Me? No. Crown Tie by Alex Esther. I went and bought this book whenever Barnes & Noble was having their sale, and this was literally the last one. Like, somebody had it on hold, and then they canceled it. Like, this is the last copy in their store. They were completely sold out of this. So, I cannot wait to read this beauty and see what it's all about. She's so pretty. Like, just look at her. We just gotta admire her. She's so pretty. The map in here is purple. Hello. Purple's my favorite color, in case you guys don't know. But see, I just realized that both of these are kind of purple. You know what? I'm not mad, because purple's a great color. Like, I just should do like a purple book appreciation post, because purple's a good color. If it's done right. Let me rephrase that. Purple's a good book cover color. If it's done right. So, like this, the Thorn Queen, which is the Rose Bargain 2. Oh, that book comes out in April. So I can't do yellow for that. This video is really going south right now. So yellow, we're just gonna have to go back and look, because I don't know what I was doing. I don't know what I thought. I don't know what was going through my head, and obviously what was going through my head shouldn't have been going through my head. Another impulse decision, The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I've been wanting to read that for a while. It's 2 authors together. I'm pretty sure. That is my January TBR. That absolutely sucks. So we're just gonna pretend that the first part of that video never happened, because the stuff that went on in that video, I'm obviously not in my right mind. So let's just move on. The reason that I'm doing this video in 2 parts instead of breaking it up into 2, which is what I did last year, I will be breaking them up into 2. But I've read less in a month than the average person reads in a year. Just listen to how that sounds, because the average person reads 4 books a year. I read 3 in a month. Technically, I read 4, but the 4th one I finished in January, but I started reading it on Christmas, so, yeah, so let's just go ahead and start wrapping up the 3 books that I read in, December. To start it off, I actually started off with a really good book, These Infinite Threads by Tara Maffei, which is the second book in this Woven Kingdom series, and I gave it 4.5 stars. I really liked the story. I really enjoyed it. The continuation of the story, I should say, because it wasn't the start of the story. I loved the new characters that we were introduced to, the new backgrounds that we got from those characters. Yeah, I really liked it. I just think it wasn't a 5-star. I didn't get that 5-star feeling. And there were a little bit of parts to me that were slower that I didn't really quite like understand. I don't want to say I didn't understand them, but like they just didn't. I don't know how to describe it. I don't know. I guess they just weren't like for me. I guess I don't really know how to describe it. Then the next book that I read is by an author that I've read previously, and you know, I was like, this book is gonna be fine, like, there's not gonna be anything wrong with this book, like, this book is gonna be amazing. You know, typically this author writes darker, like, romances with, like, heavier themes, and I was like, oh, well, this is gonna be a cute and light and fluffy one, and there's not going to be any weird things in it like there typically are in her books. And you know, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be great. I was wrong. I was really wrong. Because what do you mean? What do you mean that happened? What do you mean that happened? Because no. No. I gave this book, this is called The First Mistake by Sadie Kincaid, and I give it 2 stars. Because A, all the weird crap that was going on in it. B, it felt like the characters just like, you know, they were always thinking about each other because they were apart. It was like a second chance or whatever. They were always apart, and then they like got together, and it was like immediately, like, and I realized like the span that she wrote the book over was like the book sets place in like 4 days, so it was a little bit, it's harder to like, you know, write a book, but I still feel like the book should have been 50 more pages, and I think it would have been a 3-star, maybe even a 4-star, because typically her books, like the other series that I read by her, I think the highest book in the series was like 4 stars. But I just don't know what happened with that book. Like, I don't know what she did. I think she was on crack, honestly, whenever she wrote it. Because I don't know where that came from. And I don't think she does either. So, and then I saw people giving it like 5 stars, and I was like, are y'all okay? Like, y'all need some help. Because she's definitely like, whenever I read her books, I read them because I just read like a super devastating, gut-wrenching book, and I need something that's gonna question my morality, and that's exactly what this book did. So, in a way, it served its purpose. In another way, it scarred me for life. So, let's just say that. Now, the last book that I read and finished, I should say that, in December, was Whisper by Lynette Noni. I have a copy. Yes. That's right. Whisper by Lynette Noni, and I gave it 3.75 stars. I got this book last Christmas, and I got this in 2024, and I read it in 2025, so holding this in my hands feels like just wow, because it's been 2 years since I received this book, but that's besides the point. Anyways, I don't know, it's a duology, so there's one more book and then it's over, and I will be continuing with it because I felt like it was very slow to me in the beginning, and I was very like, when's the story gonna pick up? Like, it took, for me at least, it took 100 pages for me to be like, okay, I want to know what happens. I want to continue reading the story. Like, I want to know. Like, I genuinely want to know. It took me 100 pages, which typically most books don't, but I think the whole concept of this book is really well thought out, and I think it's great. And once I got to a certain point, I was like, yes, this is good. Why it's not 4 stars or above is, again, it was really slow in the beginning. It took me like, I think 100 pages exactly. Hold on, let me see. I think it took me to like chapter 10. Yeah, so so the first 9 chapters, I was like, what? And then the 10th chapter, which starts on page 98, after that, I was like hooked. I was like, this, like, read it. Like, that, and then I thought there was going to be a romance between 2 of the characters, and the way it ended, it didn't look like it, but always keep your mind open. This doesn't make any sense, but this video is so long already. Okay. I'm only talking about 3 books, and this video is 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay. Very slow. Thought there was going to be romance that developed. It didn't. Maybe in the second book, hopefully. And I just felt like I don't really know what the second book is going to be about, because I feel like we got more than half of the story in this first book. Like, I don't know. There was a bunch of background details, which I'm sure there's more background, like, to this story. But I just feel like we got so much background information, and we got to the climax, and, like, it would be different if it were, like, a book where, like, the big thing happened, and then somebody got, like, shot or something, and that's how the book ended. Like, it'd be different, but, like, it got past that point, and it kept going and going and going until where they're gonna end up in the next book, which is, I don't know, I just find that less suspenseful, because I already know what's gonna happen. Like, I know, like, where the characters are. Like, I'm not questioning. Like, it didn't immediately make me want to pick up the next one and be like, what happened? Like, are these characters okay? That was the other thing. I didn't really feel, like, very emotionally attached to any of the characters. And I feel like the side characters really stuck out more than, I don't know, the main character didn't talk for a while. That's a point of the story that you will understand if you read it, but she didn't talk for a while, so I think that's another reason why she didn't stand out. But yeah, I would say if you're in a dystopian mood, or maybe just a shocking mood, I'd say read this. But if you're not, don't. So with all that being said, thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. I could sit here honestly and talk about the 3 books that I just talked about like forever, which I don't need to. I need to hurry this video up because this video is already so long, and it will, at this point, it's probably going to be longer than the last video that I posted. So I may need to have to refilm this clip just to, I don't know. We'll see. So with all that being said, thank you so much. I will see you guys in my next video, and I can't wait to explore 2026 with y'all. Bye!